Hi, I'm Leta. I'm 13 years old. I have autism and severe dyslexia, and my mentors are Chloe and Matt Arnold, and you shall see a picture of them. And also, I love urban, and I love Hollywood, and I love my puppies. And also, it's all about being my autistic self, and also I stumbled there, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, Leta, welcome to this week's episode of Leta's Tap Styles. How was your weekend this
Good.
past weekend? Not even waiting for me to talk before you do. We do have a Jackie cam set up. He has been playing with his Kong toy, and
Mommy's phone.
it is off my phone this week because we still have not gotten to 102 subscriber or people. And he now has a bone in his mouth. Your statement was 102 people, and then mommy goes out and buys a GoPro.
For the dog.
Yes, a GoPro for the Woofy Woof, and we set it up where people can see him when he's not sitting on his puppy bed. This last weekend, we went up leaf peeping in the hills, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw the leaf.
And we went to the same place we went last year, or at least one
We
weekend
also
last year.
went to Donkey Town.
Yeah, Donkey Town. I don't think that's the official.
Okay.
You're like, it should be the official name of Donkey Town. Cripple Creek is not Donkey Town, but we didn't see the donkeys this time at all. They seemingly were hiding from everyone.
Donkey school, bye-bye.
I have a funny feeling the donkeys were hiding from the hordes of people coming up leaf peeping. What about you?
Yeah.
Plus, I hear they are on a donkey diet this year.
Donkey diet. That's going poorly. Poor as poor can be.
No more human food.
They're donkey thieves. They will steal your carrots.
They're not supposed to be eating human food like carrots or apples or anything like that anymore.
Donkey thieves.
For people who don't live in the Colorado area or the Pikes Peaks region, Cripple Creek, one of our old mining towns, has wild-ish donkeys that the city takes care of, and you can feed them. You can go to the local shops.
Donkey thieves.
Yes, and previously you were allowed to feed them things like apples and bananas and carrots, and then the veterinarians came in and went, that was bad for their diet, and the donkeys are now on their first year of donkey food only diets. We'll see how this goes for them. Leta?
Yeah.
Anyways, we went up there. We went up to Victor. We went over towards the Independence Mine, where last year we filmed you doing the chorus of 16 tons, which I'll put just the video of you doing it somewhere around here.
And then we did other stuff, like other stuff.
Last year, we went out hiking because Dad was not deployed, and we
all just wanted to go hiking.
Through that. And there was parking at the hiking trail when we went by last year. The one that you and I wanted to go by, we got up rather late in the afternoon. By the time we got up there, it was like 9:30. That trail has 6 parking spots. So if you don't get up there at the right time, there's no parking. It's fine. It's a fun trail. Instead, we went over to Independence Mine, which we did last year. I was going to record you doing something to the new Cooper Allen song.
You forgot to record it.
Yeah, you got to push record on the camera
to
make the recording work. Yeah, Mommy obviously didn't, did she? I'm getting a look from a teenager. Duh, Mother Dearest.
I was thinking Avi. What does that even mean? I was thinking Avi.
One thing that brought up is a lot of people have talked to me about your supposed, because we were going to go hike up through Independence Mine over to overlook Christmas, and there were grasshoppers. Yeah, you were.
I do not have a fear of grasshoppers.
Yeah, you just stopped in the middle of the hiking trail from your, not
grasshoppers are the biggest. They make bear, snake, and reptilian food and than alive creatures.
I am not disagreeing with you, but you got to the other side of the bridge by the old mine. The end.
Grasshoppers.
And you stopped dead in your tracks because the noise the grasshoppers were making, which leads me to something I think we're going to dispel. We are going to go dispel a myth this month. because people on a regular basis tell me that they know you do not have issues with noise. You have no sensory issues surrounding noise.
Curse words, you. Curse words, you. Are you me? No, curse words, you.
It makes sense, so if you think about it, Leta, because these people see you tap, and your tap is hard, it's heavy, it's loud, you can
It's
hear it
not
out.
that.
Your tap dancing is not the quietest of quiet. You go very hard and heavy. You can say that till you're blue in the face, but it is loud and people can hear you outside of actual theaters at time doing
No,
your
they
tap.
can't.
I refer you to Columbus, Georgia, one year where people could hear you.
No, they can't.
Okay, we're going to pretend that's not true, that you're not completely full of it right now. But you don't hear tap noises on your shoes the way other people hear the tap noises.
You're so quiet.
Okay. But you do not like loud noises. Like you were almost having, okay, not almost, you were having a meltdown in
No,
DC.
it wasn't.
This is a podcast about your autism and your tap dancing. Let's be honest here. The noise level in the basement at DC was a little overwhelming for you, especially during showcase with everyone cheering and yelling and clapping. It hurt your ears, did it not? Leta, you got to be honest here because you
Yeah,
can help.
yes, maybe. Sure, fine. Jeez Louise, you make me tell the truth. Like, made me think I'm have to get over mental blocks from teachers and other human beings telling me that I was just being a selfish little brat.
It's not a selfish little brat when you have an actual sensory issue, and you have a sensory issue with loud noises. Tap shoes to the contrary, because you have never, not even you, let's pick someone else. Miss Chloe, Miss Maud, Miss Giselle, everyone you know in Soul Talk, you don't think their tap shoes are very loud, do you?
I think my tap shoes are quieter than theirs.
Ignoring that, their tap shoe when you are on stage with all the other Soul Talkers, do you get overwhelmed by the noise of the tap shoes?
No, I'm just asking freaking people why you freaking screaming in the freaking world. You do not need to freaking scream. What is wrong with you? Freaking people, are you trying to make my ears
Listening to
great?
the Chloe and Mom. Yeah, but see, there's a weird thing about it. You are severely sensitive. The noise of the crowd clapping causes you to put your hands over your ears because it hurts your ears.
Not my fault they're trying to burst out everybody's eardrums and I'm the only one who doesn't want blood coming out of my ears.
Okay, this is called Sensory Issues 101. Just in case anyone's wondering, that's a sensory issue. Like if you have never lived with an actual sensory issue, the crowd noise is normal noise for a crowd.
They were trying to make my eardrums go complete.
Jack is looking at me like, woman, there's supposed to be water in my cup and you forgot to fill it up before the podcast. Dude, you can go on the other side and lay down. And he may also be saying honey because we have a cute little senior puppy behind us. And he's put up the puppy cam and now you're going to go visit Leta instead. Okay. When you were doing competitions or when you do any show, what do you think at the end when people clap and scream for you?
Why do you like trying to make other people's eardrums burst out and bleed? Bleed like hell. Bleed there's no tomorrow.
They're not, Leta, they're not doing that. They're normal crowd noises and your ears hurt with normal crowd noises.
Are you sure they're trying to just make somebody drop dead from panic attack?
No, that is where it is really funny with your sensory issues and not funny in a ha way, but funny in a unique way. You absolutely positively love the sound of your taps. I think you have never, when the drums were going at DC, did you have a problem with the drum noise? During showcase, remember the last piece
There were
was
drums.
the drums? Yeah,
Yeah.
last piece of showcase is the drum.
Oh,
When you've heard drums, have drums hurt your ears?
not before.
Was it the drums that hurt your ears, or was it the loud noise of the crowd cheering?
Did you not hear the crowd of people screaming like a person who made me and whooped out that you're not hearing drums? Simply go. Move right. Why? This is your ears. Did you not hear those drums? They're exploding your brain and making your brain and ears gonna blur.
Was it the drums, or was it the drum noise combined with the noise of the crowd?
Did you not just hear me? I said it was both.
The drums were not that loud. They were actually very quiet for drums.
Are you sure?
Extremely sure, actually. I think
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you
extremely sure,
That's
actually.
what
Here's the thing.
Einstein said when it came to rocket science.
But you have a noise sensory issue. Noises are not necessarily your friend. Say
Damn, my enemy.
grasshopper. Yes, say grasshoppers on a trail. Not your friend. Noise. The only thing in this household worse with noise is Jack Elvis. Jack Elvis and noise do not get along.
Yeah, but he's not that loud. He's quiet.
No, but the noises do not get along. But on the other hand, tap is a very loud dance. You are shaking your head no. Would you like to discuss this with our audience?
You're weird. You're weird. And you're weird, and I'm not the weirdo.
Tap is extremely loud. And I know tap dancers who use like loop. They're not earplugs, but they really are to try and help with the sound of the tap because they are also sensitive to noises.
Loop ring? Like trampoline? But
I think it's loop rings, but I don't know.
Loop
We've never tried it.
Loop rings. Loop rings. Loop rings.
I don't know. I should know what they're called because everyone keeps telling me. Okay. I should know what they're called because everyone keeps telling me we need to get them for you. Because you have a sound sensory issue. And everyone expects that to affect your tap dancing because honest to God, with a lot of other people, it would affect their tap dancing. We know people who have to wear the loops in order to tap dance.
And next, it's going to affect me having dog. Oh, wait, we have Jack and Bella. And Bella sounds like a tornado siren, and every time she howls, I think, oh, why is there a tornado? And no, it's the dog.
Not disagreeing that your puppies aren't a little bit cuckoo banana brains, but you do, and I'm going to put up a video here of you tap dancing again. You do fine on stage. I think you just blink out, and you do fine in studio. You do fine here at home.
Well, yeah,
when it comes
nobody cheered.
I meant with the tap. The sound of the taps do not drive you completely and totally bonkers. The crowd cheering makes your ears chewing your microphone. This crowd cheering makes your ears want to bleed, doesn't it?
But mean your ears want to bleed. I mean they're cheering. Now that's like nice.
No, it doesn't make my ears want to bleed because it's not that loud. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming for me, but not the same way it is for you. But that brings me to
I'm not crazy. It's you that are crazy because it sounds like
no one is crazy. Leta, no one is crazy here. No one is crazy here. What it is, whether or not it's sensory issues give you a physical pain. Almost all sensory issues give physical pains. For you, it's the crowd sounds make your ears feel like they want to bleed. This is, if you've never experienced sensory issues, a lot of people don't know how physical the reaction is to them. Your sensory issues, say even clothing, if I put you in sleeves,
burn them. I will put them in a volcano so they burn and die.
but what does your skin feel like when you go into sleeves?
arms are being cut off and all the blood to my arms are being cut off and my arms are probably gonna fall off.
You have a physical reaction to that sensory issue. And I think a lot of neurotypical parents of autistic kids or any kid with a sensory issue, they don't understand that physical reaction. When we're talking the crowd cheering, which you do appreciate them telling you you did good, which is what the cheering and clapping is for, correct? I'm getting a weird look on her face. Her cheers. It makes you physically feel pain.
Wrong with you? That's not
Let me fix it.
appreciation. That is, oh, hey, let us tell you.
No, that is not what they're meaning. They are honest to God. That is how most people show their appreciation. It's clapping and cheering. That is how people have shown their appreciation for millennia here, Leta. Is one of the universal ways
This
of
is why
showing.
I like ASMR. It has nice quiet noises. And the people type quietly. And they're not
Yeah.
trying to destroy my eardrums and make them bleed.
No one is trying to destroy your eardrums, trust me. But you suffer through the crowd cheering for you because you do enjoy performing, right?
Also, I think I'm a full-blown panic in DC. Thank you very much.
Didn't say panic attack, I said meltdown from your sensory issues. That's two separate issues.
I'm in meltdown. I'm so sorry.
In DC, you wouldn't have been the only one who was having a meltdown because I think DC is sensory overload for a lot of people in that group. I get to go bye-bye to a hotel to get away from the sensory issues. You have to stay there the whole time. Lucky you. Anywho's, Jack, I put a camera down for you this week and I am looking straight at you and you're supposed to be on the puppy pillow with the puppy cup and everything. And where are you not? Yeah, but there could be squirrelies
Yeah,
outside,
but
Mom.
see, if I wasn't the only one who had the meltdown, that means I couldn't have had a meltdown because if there's only one person allowed in this house to have anxiety, that means there's only a handful of people living in that can have a meltdown.
All I said on the one person, we need to have a rule that only one anxiety attack and one meltdown can be happening at a time. We have 3 people in this household when your father is home, 4 beings if you count the puppy with anxiety. Who can at any point in time be having a meltdown or an anxiety attack?
What about the ghost?
Let's ignore that one for right now. I am saying we just need to try to time our anxiety attacks and our meltdowns so that people aren't together. But I'm back to the tap thing. You don't have a problem with your tap shoes at all. It is weird to a lot of people, but you're not the only tap dancer I know who. I mean, at DC, did you see how many of the kids were wearing noise canceling headphones afterwards? You guys would come out of class and those noise canceling headphones would go on for almost everyone. You know, because you had a broken pair. But one of the reasons you wear headphones at studios is even at studios, the noise can get overwhelming, can it not?
To learn what quiet things are. And also, I'm not talking to all the children because they were children. I'm talking to all the great adults. We need inside voices when they're.
The thing with you is the adults can have inside voices, but if there are like 5 or 6 voices going at once, you're going to have a sensory overload issue. You really do. It is not funny, but you do have a sensory overload issue at that point. Yes, you do. And you're in with a group with Soul Talk where I think everyone and their dog has had sensory overloads.
So you know I was not talking about the adult suite.
No, but I'm going to say in that group, I have seen, including your mother, all of us go, sensory overload is happening right now. I'm walking away if I can, which maybe you might not. And then you just leave people alone.
Wait. When I had chances to walk away, I couldn't.
And I don't know how many chances you have to walk away. In DC, you do. You can tell people in that group, especially, you can go, my social batteries are drained. And your group will go, yep, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Someone will probably
It's just freaking since everybody keeps telling me I have ghost skin, I could have just went poof, nobody noticed. Look it in background. Look ghost skin. Poof, Nobody noticed.
In
I'm both.
that group with Soul Talk, I think everyone and their dog
I
noticed it.
wasn't from so talk was in the womb. I was in
You're right,
remember.
because you were an intermediate. No, what I'm talking about is in dance studios. When you were in dance studios, I've had dance teachers come up to me before because you will slip those headphones on really quickly. And they're like, Lita's being antisocial. And I'm like, well, Lita's about to have a meltdown because this place is noisier than noisy in between classes with all these kids chit chatting and all these parents chit chatting. It gets really, okay, I'm going to turn that camera real quick. I think when everyone's talking at once, which really tends to happen at dance studios, is everyone and their dog is talking at once. All the kids have come out. So all the parents are talking to their kids. All the kids are talking to each other. You're in a small confined space because it's normally a very small lobby area. All the teachers are trying to get a hold of parents. Sometimes voices do get a little raised, but even without the voices being raised, all the chitter makes your ears hurt, doesn't it? Podcast, you have to say yes or no into the microphone.
Yes. And when television was just being made, there was no such thing as the characters.
Yes, but this is not just on YouTube. This happens to also live on all these podcast streaming services.
And the ones about the podcast about the characters.
But one of the things, though, that people have told me is you cannot be overwhelmed with everyone talky because you're a tap dancer. And they're like, loud noises can't overwhelm Lita. She can't be
And the
overwhelmed by
pillow can't hurt you. If I throw it at you so hard, it could probably destroy a beanbag chair. Can it?
You're
You
not
trying
lying
to
on
be
that.
invincible?
To you, there's a difference.
If
Yeah.
you're a boxer and you do weights and you go to the gym, shouldn't you be invincible?
To you, there is a major difference between everyone in a class tap dancing and the noise made in between classes at studio. Is there not? I'm not kidding. They're all inside voices. It's just when they all start talking at
You
once.
are a liar.
You take a lot of studios and you have 10, 15 kids and a class gets out. You now have 20, 30 kids out there, all their parents, all the teachers, all the staff talking, plus the kids come in for the next class. Some of those places you've been in, there's been about 35, 40 people talking at once.
60.
And it gets loud and it hurts your ears. And then you put your headphones on and people are like, why is Lita being antisocial? And I'm sitting there going, you can do one of two things. You can understand the sensory issue she's going through right now.
Why aren't you invisible?
I think your point has been made.
Thank
But
you.
let's discuss this again. And Jack is finally looking out. He's, hello, this is my world. I shall do this. There is a lot, and I believe there is a lot to be said for the fact that sensory issues can differ, can they not? Let's try something nice and easy. Would you quit chewing on your microphone? And we need to get that there was an issue with your pearls that you usually put on your microphone. We need to get you a new custom
Upload
strand.
them.
Yeah, they were also dirt cheap costume pearls. There is a lot to be said for people needing to understand sensory issues because sensory issues run the game.
Why are you
And that's when
breakable? Why?
I think the thing is, I don't think neurotypical people completely understand. And neurotypical parents definitely don't. They don't understand how physical this is. They just think that the noise is overwhelming. So you should be able to like calm yourself down by breathing techniques. They don't know that there is a physical thing happening to your eardrums when all that noise is going on.
Yeah, and let's check racism is wrong. Being able to listen to somebody with physical problems is wrong. Last time I read the whole list.
Being listen to someone with autism is wrong as well. I think one of the problems though on understanding this one is you honest to gosh, I don't know that you have a problem with the quit poking yourself in the cheek with your microphone.
Yeah.
You do not do you have a problem with the volume of the music on?
Well, if it's blasting where everybody's eardrums almost pop out, then yes.
Like at DC Tap Fest, the volume of the music on stage, was it a problem for you?
I could barely hear it. There was music.
Yeah, there was music
Well,
both
next,
at show.
everybody else was actually tap dancing.
Yeah, but I think you do tune out some of that when you get on stage because you love tap and it's something that your brain just goes on. You're eating the microphone again. But your brain goes on autopilot. When you start doing choreography, I think you even tune out that music on stage. When you were doing Hound Dog, do you ever hear the music to Hound Dog or do you just start going and you know exactly where it's supposed to be?
Wait, they actually played the music.
They played the music. When you were doing it solo while you were at that one year you did dance competitions, did you ever hear the music while you were on stage?
I kept forgetting to play it.
I have a question for you, and this is a serious question because I think this helps parents. Could you quit for 2 seconds?
What?
Because I need you to focus for 2 seconds on this one. When you are on stage with Soul Talk, anytime you're on stage with Soul Talk, do you hear the music and the other tap dancers?
Wait, they actually have the taps on? Wait, the music
Yes, the music
actually
is playing
playing?
and they have their taps on.
Are you
When
sure
you
you?
guys, I'm not lying.
Are you sure
I'm
you're
sure.
not lying? Are you
When
sure?
question, when you guys did your video shoot, did you hear the music?
Wait, they played the music?
When y'all are doing stuff, do you sometimes not hear the music at all?
I just sometimes I forgot to turn on the music.
No, that music is going nonstop, Leta. Okay, question for you, kiddo. You are on stage, wherever that might be. You never have heard the music while you're on stage, have you really? Can you hear it in the wings?
No,
But when you're rehearsing, you hear the music, correct? But the moment you go into show mode, you don't hear the music at all, do you? When we are doing
yeah,
shoots, just you and I out in the world, do you hear the music all the time or does sometime
yeah,
your brain just automatically goes into autopilot, doesn't it?
I don't
And,
even talk to my brain.
but you come off and
Wait,
people,
can I?
I don't know, but you come off the stage and people assume you were hearing the music the whole time. You have to have that muscle memory because you don't hear the
Yeah,
music.
they're weird. They're weird. They're really weird. They're really weird, and I don't think they completely understand how the world turns
I
or
think you
how
don't understand how the
dinosaurs work.
neuroturf. I think
Sometimes people ask me about dinosaurs and try to like connect with me for dinosaurs and try to make me actually recognize that human beings exist.
I'm cutting that part just to get short. No, I think what I'm trying to get across here is you have a love for tap. You enjoy tap, do you not?
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to get across here is I think your brain has come up with a way because you are super, super sensitive to sounds, Ma- massively sensitive sounds. I think your brain just shuts down the sounds and goes completely into muscle memory. And you know that music's supposed to start. You know what it's supposed to do, and you just go with it. I think if the music cut out, you would continue going with it.
Yeah. Also, people have problem with pizza. Like, why
Yeah,
does
that's a
every
different. I think a
choreography
food
thing they do just
issue is a
like it
different issue for another day.
automatically involves
Yeah,
imagining
Lita,
pizza?
we're trying to stay on topic for once. Okay. No, but I think that's one thing I think parents need to understand when they've got kids like you is those sensory issues may not hold you back in, say, tap dancing. So if your kid doesn't like loud noises, but they're tapping their feet all the time, how tap dancing? Who knows? They might like to leave. I'm trying to be a serious podcast and you're over there like lifting up safeties. And I'd like to point out just real quick as an aside, I did not baby talk you ever.
It is baby talk these dogs. Just baby
And now
talk
I'm
these
baby talking
dogs.
everything.
Just baby talk Jack. Because he has basically no brain. Just basically have no brain. Just basically no brain. Just basically have no brain. Also, plus, why would somebody baby talk a baby? Every time somebody baby talked to me, he as a baby, I like automatically hated it and went, please just go away. If I become an introvert, it's because you baby talks me. And I'm an introvert.
I do think that sensory issues are a big thing in dance. And I think a lot of dance teachers don't understand that some people, such as yourself, will overcome sensory issues only for what you love. Because you absolutely stop. If you hurt the coffee cup mug, I've got to call Miss Dr. Kristen and tell her to buy you a New Mexico coffee mug. No, I think so. One of the things we're going to do at Autistic Wings is if your child has a sound sensory issue and they cannot handle talking to people in between class, please let them put on their muffs, right, Leta?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more with us that we're going. That's why we have the dance IEP is we need to know your kids' sensory issues. I think a lot of traditional dance studios don't understand because they look at you, especially at you, and they're like, well, Leta, sweetie. They look at you and they're like, Leta can do that, can handle tap. So why can't she handle all the other noise? Why is Leta having a meltdown with the other noise?
You mean that's right. Stop trying to make my ears do. I'm silly bleeding ears.
Oh, but we're wrapping this up. But I think that's one of the differences, like I said, between Autistic Wings and a traditional studio. Is a traditional studio looks at you and goes, you can either have it where you say sound creates such a problem for you that your ears are going to start bleeding, or you can love tap dancing and sound isn't an issue.
Yeah.
Or there's no correlation between the two. You can love tap dancing. You can love the noise your tap shoes make. You can love drums. You can love the noise a drum makes. And
Like that one YouTube couple I follow where one guy sees perfectly and one guy's blind and he still does art even though everybody says he can't do art one day. You're gonna say he can do art? Are you gonna be here? Are you gonna be here for everyone?
a lot of people ask if he can. I would say he's faking his issues with his vision because he can do art. So therefore he's faking
Minis. That's what y'all are. Minis. Why would he have a dog with a sort of fine hardness to say he's a seed eye dog? At that point, you just can't fake it.
I think a lot of people have
Also,
asked.
plus, he never actually looks in the camera. Or at his
there are also-
boyfriend.
I know
Or at
some
anyone.
I know some blind people who can actually use the sound of your voice to look at you, or they have for their YouTube and for their Instagrams and TikToks, they have a beepy thingy on their camera so they know where to look at because they point their eyes in the directions.
I just mean that people you can just automatically tell that they automatically just somehow are looking at you while not having no clue where you actually are.
Yeah, but back to there's thing is everyone who is differently abled has different things they can and cannot do. Oh, he's you interrupted my nap time for this
See, and
podcast.
this is what we baby talk. We baby talk that. We just automatically baby talk that because they did the baby, and we baby talk that because you're the baby. Also, this person baby talks as a babies. I don't know why.
I don't really talk to other babies because when I don't baby talk them, they all look at me like I'm a scary thing, which is probably true, but we're going to ignore that. No, back to you. The difference. Autistic Wings, and I think one of the problems with adaptive dance is for you because you have a sensory issue to noise with adaptive dance, they would be taking away your tap shoes. That is what adaptive dance does. I think with what we're doing,
That's just evil dance. That's just mean evil dance. What next? Jack the Pumpkin should have a pumpkin for a head?
I think what you're doing, what has happened over the years is adaptive dance has become very rigid in the rules. Autism can't be rigid. While there is a lot of stuff that almost everyone with autism has, fun fact, there's a lot of things like your sensory issue to noise You overcome it for tap dancing. Though not with the crowd yelling. You're like, please run away.
I do run. And then I get dragged on stage. And run again. And
Correct.
then I get dragged on stage again.
I think that's one thing, though, that people need to understand is the sensory issues aren't stringent. You love tap. You put up with the noise that you have to with tap. Your mind has found ways to adapt and overcome the issues you have with tap. That doesn't mean you like the noise of everyone in a small little lobby in between classes. Your headphones have become a medical device in a lot of ways. You use them. You use your headphones to get through daily life. They're right beside you.
The medical device.
Yeah, but the moment you get sensory overload, you put them on, you're listening to music and you're doing stuff to calm yourself down, which I know a lot of neurotypical people are like, you can't do that. You have to find a different way to overcome, and a way to overcome that we, the neurotypical world, says is okay for you to use.
Yeah. And once you find the actual thing to world peace, call me. Once you people actually figure out how to do world peace, call me. Call me for a dream you're never doing, but I'm doing, but you're never doing, but I'm doing.
I think it is interesting that they're all like, because we've had a lot of people go, Leta just can't continue doing this. She needs to find something that I am comfortable as a neurotypical person with her doing.
Call me once you figure out world peace, and I don't already have the plans for every.
Finish my statement real quick, because I am going somewhere with this. We at Autistic Wings have these, as long as your child's way of self-soothing doesn't interrupt anyone, guess what? That's your child's way of self-soothing, is it not, Leta?
Yeah.
We're not going to tell a child, you can't self-soothe this way because it's not how the world does. Leta. Because here's the thing, I don't care. Do you care if someone is wearing headphones because it's getting too loud? Okay, we need to wrap this up because I've got stuff to get done and it is getting cloudy out there. And I'm wondering if we're finally going into false fall number 2. You can find us on Facebook at Leta's Tap Styles Podcast. You can find you at Leta's Tap Styles on Instagram. Yes, you. Sometimes I actually get onto my Instagram at AN Trisdale. We have the website, letatapstyles.com. Autistic Wings, of course, if you want to help support a young child's dream.
Jackie Boo who needs an Instagram and YouTube because he's Jackie Boo.
Yeah, he'd have to do a little bit more than he does. Anywho, we can just have him share yours. If you want to donate, Autistic Wings is always looking for donations, correct, Leta?
Yes.
Let's look ahead to October because this is our first episode of October. It's first episode of spooky season. We have guests coming up. We have Michelle Shorey coming up next Friday. She's coming on to talk about why parents are their best advocates for their children. Then we have already recorded that interview. That was an amazing interview, was it not, Leta?
Yay, 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 yay.
It was your first attempt to interview someone. Janine Tang, a licensed speech and language pathologist who wrote a book, is coming on. You can find out about both of these amazing women visiting the website, mini bios of both women and their websites and publication for Miss Janine, her book for on our website. If you go to letatapstyles.com, link in the description below, you'll find a mini bio and links. I think I already said that. It is getting later in the day around here. Sometime later this month, we're also going to see if we can't get Leanne Kay from Sal's Emotions scheduled to mesh with ours so that we can do a fun and enjoyable deal with her again. We really loved having her on the podcast to talk about dance stuff. We are always looking for podcast guests. You can go to the website.
If you have a puppy, please give your puppy a puppy cam, please. Ooh, or a cute reptile, or a cute kid, or a cute fiffy, or a cute, and I will take any animal except crickets Cockroaches. Yeah, those are just the only two things.
And grasshoppers.
Crickets and grasshoppers are literally the exact same thing.
No, they're actually closely related, but not the same thing, just in case you're wondering. Now, on to other important information. Other thing on your list of please have animal cams when you come on.
Wait!
All right, all that's on our website. You can actually click our Podmatch link in the website, and that will take you directly to where you can sign up, or you can contact us using the contact form on the website. We're always looking for dancers, are we not, Leta?
Yes. And cute animals. Because, no offense to the thing I'm part of, but I like animals better than humans, but I love my friends. But I love animals more than the human race. But I love my friends. I love my friends. I love my friends until the end of the earth.
Yes. So that should get us through October. That should be fun and exciting. Then we got the holidays coming up. We're all excited about that. You're yawning. Shall we head off into the next week? This airs on a Friday, so should we tell everyone to have a good weekend?
Have a weekend.
Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next week with Michelle Shorey from Wisdom for Complex Kids and hear a little bit about our Thrive program. See you later. Bye.
Well, thank you for watching the podcast, and please subscribe, and also look at the adorable paper. So if you want to subscribe for it, and also please leave a like, and don't forget, if you subscribe to our stuff, you won't miss any of our new podcast stuffies. And also, did you see the adorable paper? Don't you like it?